But Taylor, we have your keys to the game. So how do the Patriots avoid an upset against New York on Monday night? What do they have to do to make sure that they head into their much-needed bye with another W?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost what they've got to do, I'll actually start with the defense real quick. Okay. I'll go back to front. I think they need to build a wall. And
Wait, I wanted to do this first, actually. Sorry, we did have it. No, you're good. That's my fault. We have a super chat. I wanted to get that out there because we put up all super chats. We talked about Drake. Just a funny, he may be the best right now. Not bad, pretty good. Shout out super chats. Anytime a super chat gets thrown in here, we will put it up. So we appreciate it as always. All right, sorry to cut you off. Continue with your game, please.
No, I mean, these are going to be pretty quick because I think these are pretty simple. I think you need to build a wall and set edges. This is a Giants offense that I don't think people should sleep on. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson is a legitimately good player. While I don't think the run game is going to be as dynamic without Jackson Dart, you can't sleep on Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. No. They're not going to be like Chase Browns, where I'm thinking these guys are going to like have 100 yards, either one of them individually. But I do think this is a Giants offense that's going to be okay with running the ball consistently, similar to the Jets a little bit. And honestly, that would be a pretty good blueprint for why I would be nervous if Jackson Dart were healthy and I thought that he could have a Justin Fields type impact. But given the fact you could be missing Harold Landry, you are going to be missing Milton Williams, likely going to be missing Kyrus Tonga as well. The interior defensive line depth is not looking great right now. Joshua Farmer, the fact that he wasn't active last week is just weird. So I'm kind of still TBD on how much of a role he should have. Eric Gregory was up and down. I like some things I see, but at the same time, a very young player who doesn't have a lot of experience. So you're putting a lot on the plates of Christian Barmore and Corey Durden. And I don't know that you want those guys on the field as much as they may have to be in this game if you want to still have a quality kind of defensive front. So that worries me a little bit. Again, on the edges, you're probably going to have to rely if Harold Landry can't play, and he might. We've seen him not practice early in the week, and then he still ends up active. So he's a tough guy. We'll see. But Kayvon Chason, I don't want to say he's been inconsistent because I think the way they have their spill rules where the edge defender kind of knifes inside and the linebacker is supposed to be the one crashing down to set the edge. I feel they've been inconsistent there, and I'd like to see better triggering communication from those guys. But I just think there are ways that, and while I acknowledge they're banged up, also, I feel that maybe I haven't given enough thought to they have played so many games, and this decline may just be, they haven't had a bye, and these guys are banged up. Maybe they'll be better after. But you want to go into the bye with a win, and if you do, you have to make this Giants offense one-dimensional and help out your pass rush, because I don't think the pass rush is going to be great in the conventional ways. I think you're going to have to scheme some things up, stunt, create those opportunities for yourselves at times. So make them one-dimensional. You cannot get pushed back like we've been talking about, basically giving guys 2 yards before you even make contact. That cannot continue to happen. Dent the line of scrimmage, try to make some plays where guys knife inside, whether that's a matter of blitzing or stunting or what have you, and just do not let them be able to run the ball and have the confidence to do so into the late portion of the game, because that's when I think you get into dangerous territory in this kind of game where, again, the Giants are a team that's going to have you on upset alert. You're already banged up and could probably use a break because you're so close to this bye. Just got to get over the hump, and that's a major step to getting there.
100%. So that is the defensive side of the ball, like you said, building a wall, setting the edge, avoiding them making those explosive plays. Flipping it to the offense, you have don't let the pass rush wreck the game, and also exploiting the Giants' banged-up cornerbacks. Paulson Adebo, Deonte Banks, both currently, I don't know if you call them questionable yet because I don't have a designation, but they were limited in practice earlier on this week. But that pass rush, man, and that front that the New York Giants have is lethal with your Abdul Carters, Brian Burns, obviously, Dexter Lawrence. That whole bunch can really get after quarterbacks. And Patriots are dealing with 2 injuries on the left side as well. So how do you think they settle that down? And I guess looking at those keys to the game as well, how that can essentially make or break this Pats offense here.
Yeah, so Dexter Lawrence, still one of the best interior rushers in football. Abdul Carter has been the best rookie pass rusher at any position. Basically, the only stat that he doesn't lead rookies in is sacks. He has 1 sack, but he has been highly, highly disruptive as someone who can play on and off the line of scrimmage. Brian Burns, only player with more sacks than Brian Burns is Myles Garrett. He also leads the NFL in batted passes. So another really disruptive guy. You don't want to be dropping back in obvious passing situations too many times. Great way to do that is to stay out of long yardage situations with a consistent run game. This is the worst run defense in the NFL. by yards per game. They are going to be vulnerable, especially if you can get to the second level. This could be a big Travion Henderson game. And I feel like I say that every week. And sometimes they let me down a little bit, whether it's the way that the scheme is executed or the game plan ends up working out, or whether it's just the way things are blocked up for him. But this is a linebacking core that's already banged up. Their second string linebacker, or their number 2 linebacker. I'm sorry, his name is so long. I think it's Demetrius.
Oh, Flanagan Fowles.
Flanagan Fowlers. Yes, thank you. That's a tough one. But he's banged up. He might not even play, and they've been very vulnerable when linemen are able to block them, and you see a ton of really big runs. So also, a lot of their vulnerabilities running the ball have been downhill to the right. Hello, Morgan Moses and Mike Nwenu. That should be the strength of your run game. And also on tosses and plays to the perimeter. So another place that you'd like to see Travion Henderson maybe get some opportunities. So run the ball on them consistently, wear these guys out. Again, don't make yourself obvious. But outside of that, it's a lot of the usual stuff. And I actually asked Josh McDaniels, obviously you trust everyone you put in there. I didn't want to get that, stock answer. But I asked, is there a certain level of, do you have to have some way of accommodating for the fact that you have 2 guys that haven't played together very often on the left side? I thought that was kind of a clever way to sneak that question in. But he said, we're game planning every week, different fronts. You always have to know who's on the field, understand the personnel, the matchups and those things, but also that there are going to be things they can do to avoid the pass rush. And he didn't get into those, but you're thinking chip blocks, getting the ball out when it needs to be out, minimizing your longer dropbacks. This is a Patriots offense that loves those 7-step drops. Maybe you go away from those if you can. And a lot of play action. If you're going to go downfield, it's got to be with the threat of the run to slow these guys down. So I don't think you're going to be breaking a whole lot of ground here. Maybe we see some more RPOs and things like that, small schematic wrinkles. But Mike Vrabel even told us when we asked, is it hard when you have to prepare for a DC that you're not experienced with or that you don't know? And they're not going to change their offense, right? Like we're going to see the same core concepts. It's just going to be a matter of what they scale back or increase. And as I've also said earlier in the week, McDaniels is right. They were doing that for Will Campbell and Jared Wilson to a degree, I'm sure, as well, where you have to make sure that you're not putting your rookies in bad spots, which is why I thought it was interesting he said it like that, where, we have to do this every week. So it's not like you're reinventing the wheel or anything, but the plan is to stay on schedule. Don't put yourself in spots where these guys can just tee off on you and you're having to hold on to the football.
Because PrizePicks is the presenting sponsor of Patriots Daily and the CLNS Media Network. It is the holiday season. It is the best time of year for sports. We've got bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, and more, and it's all happening at once. So while you and I are out here making decisions every day on what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right, and that is PrizePicks. PrizePicks has a new feature. They now offer early payouts. So if your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the opportunity to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. As you know, PrizePicks is super easy to play. All you got to do is pick more or less on at least 2 player props. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in. So get in on the action today. Download the PrizePicks app and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. I'm watching the Bears Eagles game on my TV in my office, and Eagles fans are leaving the stadium with like 5 minutes to go because
every tweet I've seen is that they've been
spanked by Chicago. So love it. All right, well, those are our keys to the game. We got them in.
One more.
Exploiting this banged up cornerback room from the Giants as well. How can they attack a room that, like we said, like the Patriots offensive line, is struggling in the defensive back department for the Giants?
Yeah, so it was a quiet week last week for the Patriots wide receivers, but they made big plays. Like Stephon Diggs catches the 3rd down late in the game. Matt Collins catches the fade that we broke down. Kayshon Boutte draws 2 pass interferences on the same drive. Demario Douglas with the seam. Like they weren't, nowhere to be seen, but no one really dominated. It was more of a tight end game, specifically Hunter Henry. This week, I don't think you're trying to attack the linebackers specifically. I think you're going after these corners because not only are they banged up, they're not very good. Now, Cordell Flott has actually not a name that people probably know, but he has been good for them. Actually, he has had a very competitive season, and I believe jumped Deion Banks earlier in the season to become one of their starters. So he's a good player, but he's banged up. As I just said, Deion Banks, I think, was benched. Drew Phillips is kind of Marcus Jonesian last year, where he gives up plays, but he also is competitive. But he gives up a ton of big plays. So that's a guy I think you're going to want to target, especially Demario Douglas. I think man-to-man situations, he'll have the advantage. Paulson Adebo, who I don't know if he's even going to play, but he's been a disappointment for them. Corey Black specifically has been the worst corner since week 8, since he had to start filling in and taking on a bigger role. Teams have just been picking on him deep. If you can get him and Kayshon Boutte matched up, that's a huge advantage for Kayshon Boutte. And I think this Patriots receiving core can have one of, if not their best day of the season against this secondary. Even Javon Holland isn't a guy who's been getting a lot of takeaways, getting his hands on the ball quite a bit. But I don't know if he's the threat that he has been at other points in his career. So I think the key to the passing game having success, and maybe Drake May finally breaking that 300-yard mark, is to attack these corners who are not only hurt, but not terribly talented, even when they're not I don't want to say not talented, but not very efficient, at least when they are healthy outside of, again, Cordell Flott, which if he has a good game, don't be surprised. Come back to Pat Staley, say Tay told you, because that's a dude who's he really has been pretty impressive. Specifically, actually, last note, these guys are very competitive breaking on outbreakers, especially Flott. Like if you want to throw a quick out or something like that, kind of like the Falcons corners, he's going to be all over it. He has been susceptible to intermediate end breakers. He gives a little bit up there. So that's going to be the key if you do want to attack the boy Flott. And Corey Black, just go deep. You should be all right.
Let me get your prediction right here, right now. Does Drake finally break the 300-yard mark this week against the Giants?
I think so. I think their corners are bad enough. And I think if there's going to be a game where you do, it's this specific room.
All right. I like it. Those are our game keys. That is our look at the Patriots injury report. If Jackson Dart is actually better than Jameis Winston for this team right now. And looking at Drake May as well in the AFC playoff picture and where he stands. That is our Friday show, and we're sticking to it. But for those of you that are here, there are 1,100 of you right now watching across all platforms. We appreciate it as always. And what we're going to do is jump over to our Discord channel. Go to clnsmedia.com/Discord. Join the party, and we will have our Patriots Press Pass members be able to ask us questions. Everybody else can still hang out and check it out and listen in for some more Patriots. What's the word? Coverage? I don't know why I'm losing my mind right now. It's Friday at 5:45. Some more Patriots
Friday,
coverage.
man. It's not your fault.
Patriots content. That's the word. Content. We're all about the content. So yeah, head over to Discord right now. We're going to hop right over there and close out the week with a little bit more of a conversation with all of our members who will come over and ask questions and come on stage with us. So thank you guys for being here as always. We'll be back again Monday, pregame show at Gillette Stadium, followed by a postgame show on the Gillette Stadium field as the Pats try and win their 10th in a row against the New York Giants from Gillette Stadium. So again, thanks as always for you guys for tuning in. Taylor, thank you as always for your hard work on the game keys to end the show. And until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you very soon. Peace out, everyone.